Sometimes the person who breaks you the most is the same person who once promised to protect your heart forever. Amara sat alone in silence. Her mascara had long missed with tears, leaving face stains across her cheeks. Her trembling finger clutched a phone tightly at her chest. One unread message glowed on the screen. I never meant what any of this to happen. It was the last message Daniel ever sent. And before the sun rose, the next morning, everything Amara believed about love would be shattered forever. Amara had always believed love was simple. Not perfect, just honest. At 28, she works as a photographer in Lagos. She loved quiet morning, soft music drifting through open windows, and capturing people when they smile naturally. The kind of smiles they didn't know anyone was watching. Her friends often joked that she lived inside a romance movie. Maybe they were right, because the night she met Daniel Adebayo felt like fate had carefully written every detail in advance. It happened during a wedding shoot in Lekki. The reception all suddenly lost power and were guests panicking in confusion. One man remained calm near the emergency light, helping elderly guests find their seat. That man was Daniel. Tall, soft-spoken, confident without trying too hard. As Amara adjusted a camera lens, she accidentally bumped into him. Daniel gently. Then he said something she would never forget. You look like someone who carries the weight of the world quietly. That sentence stayed in her mind for days. Most men notice beauty, Daniel noticed pain. And somehow that felt more intimate. That was where everything began. Daniel pursued her softly, not aggressively, not desperately, just intentionally. He memorized her favorite coffee order after hearing it once. He remembered little story she casually mentioned. Every morning before work, he sent voice notes just to hear her sweet voice. And slowly, Amara stopped feeling lonely. For the first time in years, someone made her feel seen. 3 months later, they were inseparable. Sunday drives through Lagos traffic, late night movies under blankets, dancing randomly in the kitchen where food burns on the stove. Dreams about the future. Daniel spoke about marriage carefully, like a man who truly meant every word. One evening at Takwaba, where waves crashed softly against the shore, he held her and tightly and whispered, I pray for someone like you. Amara believed him completely, because love always sounds holy when spoken by the right voice. And little by little, she gave him every fragile part of herself. The first lie arrived quietly, small enough to ignore. Daniel claimed he was traveling to Abuja for a business meeting. But later that night, while scrolling online, Amara saw a tagged photo from a lodge in Lagos. Daniel was there, standing beside another woman, her stomach tightening instantly. The next day, she comforted him. Daniel laughed softly. Babe, it's not what you think. That is my cousin. Because she loved him, she accepted the explanation. That is the dangerous thing about love. Sometimes the heart edit reality to protect itself from pain. After that night, little change began appearing. Daniel became protective of his phone. Calls ended whenever she entered the room. Even when sitting beside her, he sometimes felt emotionally far away. But every time Amara questioned him, he found beautiful words to calm her fears. And beautiful words become dangerous when spoken by dishonest people. 6 months later, Daniel proposed. A private rooftop dinner overlooking the city lights, candles flickering in the night breeze, soft violin music filled the air, and in the middle of it all, a diamond ring sparkled beneath the Lagos skyline. Amara burst into tears immediately because despite every doubt hiding deep inside her, she still wanted to believe love could survive uncertainty. Their engagement photos flooded social media. Everyone called them couple goals. People envied their chemistry, their happiness, their story. But nobody knew Amara cried herself to sleep some nights, wondering why the man she loved still felt emotionally distant still. She ignored the fear because society often teach women to celebrate relationship, even where their intuition is screaming for help. Then one night, everything changed forever. It was exactly 2:13 a.m. when Amara's phone rang. A female voice spoke carefully from the other side. Are you engaged to Daniel Adebayo? Amara froze instantly. The woman introduced herself as Vivian, and then she said the sentence that destroyed everything. Daniel is my husband. For several seconds, Amara couldn't speak. Then she laughed nervously. It sounded impossible, insane. But Vivian began sending proof: wedding photos, legal documents, family pictures, 3 entire years of marriage. Amara's hand started shaking violently. Her chest tightening painfully. She struggled to breathe. The man she planned to marry already belonged to someone else. Daniel arrived at her apartment just before sunrise. Calm, too calm, like a man who had rehearsed this moment already. Amara threw printed photos across the room. Who is she? Daniel looked exhausted, cornered, and finally he admitted the truth. Yes, Vivian was his wife. But according to him, the marriage already dead emotionally years ago. He claimed he felt trapped, lonely, broken. He insisted he planned to leave eventually. And worst of all, he said he loved Amara more. But heartbreak has a cool way of making excuses sound insulting. Amara started at him through endless tears. You watch me love you honestly while lying to me every single day. Daniel reached toward her carefully. She stepped back immediately, and in that moment, the version of him she loves dead forever. Leaving someone you still love is a different kind of pain, especially when your heart still wants them. Even after discovering the truth, for weeks, Amara struggled. Daniel kept calling, begging, apologizing, promising change. Sometimes she almost answered. Sometimes she almost forgave him because healing is never linear and breaker doesn't erase love overnight. But slowly, reality became stronger than emotion. Amara deleted their photos, returned the engagement ring, blocked his number, and for the first time in months, she chose herself. But life still wasn't finished testing her. 3 months later, on a cold, rainy evening, Amara received another call. Daniel had been involved in a terrible car accident. Critical condition. After hearing the news, she stared blankly at the wall for several minutes. Her friend begged her not to go, but love leaves emotional fingerprints, even after betrayal. So she went. The hospital smelled cold and empty. Machine beeped softly in dark corners. And there, connected to tubes and monitor, was Daniel, weak, broken woman. For several seconds, Amara simply stared at him silently. This was the man who destroyed her heart. Yet somehow, seeing him like that still hurt. Then Daniel slowly opened his eyes and whispered, I'm sorry. Over the next few hours, Daniel confessed everything. His marriage had been toxic for years. He felt trapped inside a life he no longer recognized. And when he met Amara, instead of facing his reality, he escaped into fantasy. But none of that excused what he did. He knew that now. And for the first time, he stopped defending himself. Tears rolled down his face as he spoke. You were the best thing that ever happened to me, and I ruined it. Amara cried quietly beside him, not because she wanted him back, but because grief sometimes comes from witness wasted potential. They talked until sunrise. Two people once connected by love, destroyed by dishonesty. And before she finally left the room, Daniel whispered one final sentence. Please, don't let my mistake make you afraid of love. Those were the last words Amar ever had from me. Daniel died the next morning. One year later, Amara stood inside an art gallery, showcasing a photographer collection titled Pieces of Healing. Every image represented survival, pain, growth, forgiveness, hope. Hundreds attended the exhibition, but one photograph stopped everyone in silence. Ocean waves crashing violently against dark rocks during sunset. And beneath the image, a quote was written carefully. Some people enter your life to teach you that love without truth is merely beautiful destruction. Finally, Amara understood something important. Healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means learning to survive memories without drawing inside them. And slowly our hearts found peace again. Not every love story ends with forever. Some end with lesson, some ends with scars, and some end so you can finally discover your own strength. Mm. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe for more emotional story every week. And remember, sometimes losing the wrong person is the first step toward finding yourself. I'm T. Thank you for your time. Love you all.